Hello and welcome to another episode of Mastering Rhythm with Konnakol. In this video I'm going to share with you another rhythmic formula. This one is a slightly different formula than the ones that we've spoken about in previous clips. I have learned this formula from mridangist Mannarkoil J Balaji. And he said that this rhythmic formula originated from Palghat Iyer, the legendary mridangam player. In broad terms, you can say that this formula follows the Y shape, where we start with a rhythmic reduction followed by the smallest number repeating 3 times in the end. This formula is slightly more advanced and a little longer as well. If you haven't checked any of my other videos about rhythmic formulas, this might be a good time to do this. But if you're up for the challenge, please go ahead and try. In this formula, we will have a variable part where the number or the length of the phrase can change. But we will also have a fixed part which will not change. So as I said, this is broadly speaking a Y-shaped rhythm. But the way I'm going to represent it will be slightly different than previous formulas. So the formula goes like this. For the variable part, I have chosen the letter N, signifying the word number. The letter N can be replaced by number of our choice. Although not every number will fit this formula, and I will explain why shortly. We have the number N plus a gap of 16, and this will repeat 3 times. Then we will have the number N, which will be the same as the number N that we chose initially, plus a gap of 8, and this will also repeat 3 times. Then we'll have the number N, again the same number as the first and second N, and a gap of 4, and this will also repeat 3 times. And finally we'll have the number N repeating 3 times, N, N, N. Now this formula can work in a variety of beat cycles as well as a variety of subdivisions. But for now, let's start with 8-beat cycle, 16th note fill. Adi talam, chatusa nadai. The smallest number that can replace the letter N in this case, if we wanted to do this in 8-beat cycle, 16th note fill, will be the number 1. So here's the formula again using the number 1. 1 plus 16 times 3. 1 plus 8 times 3. 1 plus 4 times 3, and then 1, 1, 1. Now for the gaps, we are going to use a slightly different method. In Konnakol, we like to use ghost syllables to indicate gaps. Although in this case, because the gap is quite large, we're going to use a slightly different method to indicate the gaps. For a gap of 16, we are going to say ta, ka, di, mi. So we have ta and then 3 gaps, ka and 3 gaps, di, 3 gaps, mi, 3 gaps, giving us a total of 16 matras or 16 subdivisions. Ta, ka, di, mi. In the first reduction, we will have a gap of 8 instead of gap of 16. In this case, we will say ta, ka, di, mi. Ta followed by 1 gap, ka followed by 1 gap, di followed by 1 gap, and mi followed by 1 gap. Ta, ka, di, mi will give us a total of 8. And in the case of 4, we are going to simply say takadimi with no gaps. This gapping method will give us a sense of continuity and consistency in this formula. So to recap, for the number 1 we are going to say ta, and for the gaps we are going to say takadimi. I'll do this slowly at first. Please practice with me. 5, 6, 7, start. Ta ta, ka, di, mi, ta ta, ka, di, mi, ta ta, ka, di, mi, ta ta 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 ta. A little faster. 5, 6, 7, start. Ta ta ka, di, mi, 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 ta 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 ta. Now, if we wanted to change the number 1, which can be variable, we will have to follow certain rules. And the rule is very simple. We can only add to the number 1 a number which is the same as the number of beats in the beat cycle that we are in. In this case, we are in Adi Talam, which means 8th beat in a cycle. That means that we can add 8 to the number 1, giving us a total of 9. If we wanted to enlarge this number even further, we will have to add 8 to the number 9, which will give us a total of 17. And then, if we wanted even to enlarge that, we will have to add 8 to 17, which will give us 25. 33 plus 8, 41. Now let's try this formula using the number 9. 1 plus 8. For 9, we can say ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom. Ta, gap, dom, gap, and then ta, di, gi, na, dom. 4 plus 5. So again, if we look at the formula right now, we will have 9 plus 16 3 times. And then 9 plus 8 3 times. And then 9 plus 4 3 times. And then 9, 9, 9. Notice that the number can change, but the gap number will be fixed and does not change. And this will work throughout any variation or any number that you are trying this formula with. So now let's try 9 with this formula. Ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom. Five, 6, 7, 8. Ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta. A little faster. 5, 6, 7, stop. Ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta, dom, ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta. And of course you can try this formula using other numbers such as 17, 25, 33, 41, 49, and so on. As a side note, this formula can also work in other beat cycles and also other subdivisions. But this is slightly beyond the scope of this video, as I always try to make these videos short and informative as possible. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and please subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next episode of Mastering Rhythm with Konnakol. Thank you so much. Ding.